Hello and welcome to We'll Figure It Out.
Hello,
Hello,
I'm Derek.
I'm Blake,
I'm Mike.
I'm Travis.
and we're going to figure this out right now.
We are indeed.
Are we
gonna figure
sure we are going to figure out this
We
time?
are, and we have our topic ready and
We have
willing to go.
out a topic. We are going to talk about some upcoming video games, namely to start with, at least to see how this goes. For those of you who may have heard, the E3 was not that long ago. The Electronics Entertainment Expo, I believe.
It was long enough ago. We're
was about a
a
month
little
ago.
They
behind.
have 3 E's. They should call it 3E.
A little bit. We didn't cover it, so I figured better late than never. We get on top of some stuff here.
One of the main games that they talked about there, they had it at a few of the different press conferences. I think 3 of them, actually. They had it at the Xbox, PlayStation, the EA, and I think they had something at the PC gaming show as well. They were talking a lot about Battlefield 1.
Absolutely.
A lot of people seem to be interested in what's going on because they are taking the Battlefield game back in time to a time that they have not done before, the time of World War One.
I've never played Battlefield.
Is anyone interested in that idea?
Absolutely.
Playing a modern military type shooter, but set in the World War
That
One
I am
era.
interested in because I like World War One. It's first big war after we had the Industrial Revolution, so
They
a lot
have,
of
they have
technology
biplanes.
changed
They
so
have
much.
weird janky tanks that don't work.
I will say this: if you're looking forward to a period correct shooter for World War One, don't buy the game.
Oh yeah, well, no, it's not going to be period correct for sure.
At all.
I was
It's
hoping.
not gonna
My
be
favorite
period
thing was I heard someone be online be like, "I would love it if they just made it so perfect so that like the machine guns, like every other bullet would just be like, oh, it's jammed, I can't, I have to go down." And like if you're driving the tank, you drive over a bump, and you're like, "Well, guys, we got to get out. It's not going to work anymore. It's broken down."
That's one thing.
Because it was all new and like not good technology.
Yeah, that would be a great game.
That
for
would actually be really-
historians, especially.
It would be funny to laugh
But-
at, but no one would actually enjoy
Nobody
playing
would
online.
enjoy it.
I
No.
think that would remind me more of the Arma series, where like,
Yeah,
they pop
yeah.
my head out, I'm dead. Screw
Yeah,
this
no,
game.
it's the realistic.
quick.
It's like the most realistic
I
military
have
shooter.
Arma. I've never really played. I tried getting the DayZ mod, not the actual standalone game.
Mhm.
That's why I bought all the Arma series. Because before DayZ came out, it was a mod. You had to have all the Arma series.
All the stuff. Yeah.
I got it on Humble Bundle where I got all of Arma and DayZ for like $5.
So many tangents. Back to the main point.
Yeah, the point
Before
was
we go
well,
on
it
for a
makes
half
sense.
hour about
It,
Arma.
it kind of does play into Arma because people were talking about like the reason that they're that this is interesting is because it's set in World War One, but like they know it's not going to be realistic because if it was so realistic, it would be more like Arma or some of those modern not modern militaries, more of the like the military simulator things that are like so accurate that like it's not really a game. It's just like this isn't fun. This is too like I got shot in the foot and now I can't walk properly.
Yeah.
It's like it's all this like and like my gun doesn't work the way that I want it to work.
Got
It's like,
shot.
Shoot a
once.
goblin
Yeah,
in the
exactly.
foot with an arrow.
yeah, exactly. That's
Goblin
like-
lives matter.
So they're obviously going to keep it to be like from what everything that I've seen from footage of the game and from what I've heard of people that have played the beta version of it that's kind of been recently out is just that it's like it's pretty much Battlefield. It just looks like it's in World War One, and a lot of the weapons are, the older looking weapons.
They're
and,
World War One
yeah.
period weapons,
and they
but
have the
a
cool
lot of
vehicles
the-
that are interesting.
Yeah.
But like the actual gameplay style is very similar to the other games.
Absolutely. The one thing that they changed about it that I understand why they did it, but I'm still not a huge fan of it, is they added in sort of weapons attachments and certain weapons that, it's just not
Wasn't period correct?
Yeah.
really, yeah.
Um,
And there was fully automatic weapons during World War One. I will credit that, and I will credit the people who have done the research on these weapons to say, hey, these are real weapons. But a lot of them were prototypes, and a lot of them were
Yeah.
experimental, and they did not function very well. Battlefield, they did a great job of doing this, though. They said themselves it is an alternative World War One to make sure this all blends together, where technology was a little bit more advanced than it was during World War One. Blah 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 blah. The one thing I didn't really get from like the beta footage or the alpha footage, whichever one it was, they had red dot sights, which is really not period correct.
Yeah, it's like definitely not. My favorite.
Maybe it was just glass with a little red
Maybe,
dot.
yeah. Like they just got a laser pointer and like taped it to the
No, not
How-
even
how did
laser
they get a
pointer. We
laser
didn't have
pointer?
lasers. It was
That's
just
right.
like a little like marker, like a red marker that just
laser had not been
painted a
invented.
dot on.
What do you think, Mike?
I'm very intrigued by this. It was a really risky move for them because everyone's trying to get like futuristic warfare and all these things. For them to be like, no, let's go back to essentially our roots. Because the first Battlefield game, I remember when it came out years ago, was it was World War II. And it didn't have the destructive environments.
That was
It didn't have
Battlefield
any of this
42, right?
Yeah,
1942.
Yeah, 1942 was the
And,
first one.
So going back to their roots, and there was talk for a while about people considering going back to a World War II game, but everyone had done the World War II. Everyone had done the older
Yeah.
wars and things, and people were starting to get tired of it. So they upped the ante. They went back to a war that people knew about. They did change it a little bit. Like they said, this is an alternative, so this would allow for better technology in the games and help draw people that are used to the future warfare games and things like that, or modern warfare style things. They go into this game. So I believe they did that to help the transition.
Yeah, I completely agree with that.
But in doing so, they came completely out of left field. No one was expecting this. And I know that the new Call of Duty game that's come out, which we may discuss here in a little bit, has been catching a lot of flack.
Mm-hmm.
I think that it's been catching that rightfully so. There's only so much you can push for like the whole future event things before it begins to mimic other games, other genres, and kind of get ridiculous, in my opinion.
Yeah.
But for them to come out and be like, no, we're going further back in time.
That
to
was
something that no one's ever done
yeah.
before that I'm aware of.
Yeah.
And it has there's an allure to it. You know, people are like, oh, wait a minute, I've never done this. This is a new story that I know a little bit about from school and from lessons and things like that. Now I get to actually sit through the eyes of someone who's fake. It has been modified a little bit, but now I get to experience that. That was a very smart decision on their part, and also the fact that they're bringing back the Frostbite engine upgraded.
Yes,
So
I
the
was really
destructive
happy about
environments.
that.
That's the one thing I've always loved about the
Battlefield
Battlefield games
especially,
was the
yes.
destructible environments, especially in multiplayer. I remember when Battlefield 2 came out and they first started doing these things. I would be the
remember that.
guy they would call on an artillery strike in an open field just so there'd be a crater that you could go in and hide
Yeah.
and get cover. So the fact that they're doing this now, I'm looking forward to this more than any of the other games. So yeah, this is something I can't wait to get, especially because from what I understand, this may push the limits of my PC at home, which is all.
That's saying
reason.
something.
That is saying something.
Yeah.
Which just gives me all the more excuse to go ahead and upgrade that. to that.
I actually,
Big
I
card I wanna get.
fully agree with that this was a very just out of the box move by Battlefield especially, and they just came out of nowhere with this idea like, you know what, World War II's been done, modern warfare's been done, futuristic warfare's been done, what hasn't been done but is still, relatively recent in our history that people would
It's
love.
still something that people definitely
I mean,
know
even
about. They've
like
heard of it.
medieval time warfare has been done. I mean,
Yeah, they have a
every other
couple
period
games.
of time war has been done except for World War One. Like, if you think about it, no World War One games have been done. I think there might have been one by the History Channel. The History
there's
Channel released
another
a few
one, but
games.
it's not like the Valiant Hearts. But that's
Yeah, that's a.
Okay,
there's nothing
yeah.
that's like a first-person shooter
This
that's
one
popular.
is-
Revolutionary War.
They did a Revolutionary War one actually. The History Channel did a Revolutionary War one where you actually have to reload the musket and it takes 30
I saw
seconds to reload it.
the footage
and
from
you
that
get
game
one
is
shot.
really interesting.
It's actually a game.
Yeah, it's actually a game, and it's actually decently good, especially for the period that they made it. I think they made it in the late 2000s, maybe the early 2010s.
What platform is it on?
It was actually on PS3. So,
What about like Civil War?
The only
I think
game
it
I ever
was Civil
saw
War.
that was Civil War was like a. They had like modern technology back. It was like this weird like time travel thing. So the
Yeah.
concept was okay, but
I
when
enjoyed
you
those
actually played
ideas.
it, you're just kind of like, what
That,
is
rem-
this?
that reminds me if
Yeah,
any of you played
but,
the new Wolfenstein game, because what they
oh,
did
dear.
in that, my favorite thing in the
Oh, dear.
new Wolfenstein game is they went back to World War II, but then it was like
Modern
they
World
took
War II.
they put like the Nazis had like somehow developed like further technology, and they had like robotic dogs
It reminds
that
me
came
of
around,
like Captain
and then
America, Super
and so the Germans
Super
won the
Soldier.
war, and then they went forward to like the 60s, and as if the Germans had won the war and had taken over, and so that's like a weird alternate history thing, and that's kind of my favorite things to.
Back to Battlefield 1 before we
Yes.
Too
lose
far
that
of a
altogether.
tangent.
As I was saying, like he had said, like Mike said, was one of the things I've always loved about Battlefield was the dynamic maps. Like, everything can change. You throw a grenade in a field, it goes off, boom, there's a crater. You throw like 3C4 in a field, detonate it, boom, bigger crater. And that can become a trap for LAVs or tanks and stuff like that. I love that sort of stuff. The thing I love about Battlefield 1 they did was they upped the ante. Now there are Zeppelins on the maps. If the Zeppelin is shot down, it goes up in flames and it crashes down. Everything it lands on is destroyed. That was a transformer that
That was very good timing on your talking.
Okay, that was fun. Since you probably can barely hear us right now. Thank you for joining us on this episode. That was a Zeppelin that landed out there, just so you're aware.
Holy cow.
We'll figure it out.
Sorry.
We'll get back to you. Thank
I'm gonna see if
you.
I can get my Pikachu to do this.
Oh, that was
Goodbye.
pretty- That was pretty